The brakes scream. Glass shatters like rain. Then silence. Michael Hale blinks at the white ceiling of the private hospital wing he owns but rarely visits. He hears the heart monitor. He smells antiseptic, sharp and cold. A clock ticks. Each second sounds like a small hammer. Evelyn, the head nurse, leans in. "You're lucky, Mr. Hale. No spinal damage. Just bruising. You'll be sore for a week." He nods. The idea has been burning in his mind for months. He is 35. A self-made millionaire with a bright smile and a guarded heart. People love his dinners. His view. His money. Do they love him? Sophia walks in with roses the color of fire. Her heels click, click, click. The room changes with her perfume. She kisses his forehead, careful not to smudge her lipstick. "Baby, you scared me," she whispers. Her smile is flawless. Her eyes scan the room. She notices the camera in the corner. The sweet flowers. The nurse's watch. Everything expensive. Michael swallows. "Sophia," he says softly. "The doctors think I can't feel my legs." She freezes. A small pause. One beat. "What?" "I can't move," he says. He keeps his face blank. His hands tremble under the sheet, but only he knows. Sophia's face empties. Then she recovers. "Oh, my God. We'll handle this. You know I'm here for you." Evelyn gives him a look that asks, "Are you sure you want to do this?" He is. He needs to know who stays when the lights fade. John, his driver, brings him home the next day. The mansion watches him with tall windows like eyes. The marble hallway echoes with footsteps. His wheelchair hums on the polished floor. Robert, the butler, bows. Emma, the new maid, stands by the stairs, fingers tucked into the hem of her apron. Her eyes are warm and unsure. She can't be more than 26. Brown hair tied back. No fancy perfume. Just soap. Clean. Honest. "Mr. Hale," she says. "Welcome home." Michael nods. The chair's wheels squeak. He feels ridiculous. He also feels scared. That no one will love him like this. Sophia sits on the velvet sofa. She crosses long legs. Her phone glows in her palm. "I booked us a private physiotherapist," she says, scrolling. "We'll do sessions 3 times a week. But I have this event tomorrow. It's for a foundation. Maybe you can rest while I—" Michael stares at the floor. The wood grain looks like a river frozen in place. "Sure." "Emma," Sophia calls. "Chamomile tea. Raw honey. And bring a tray for Mr. Hale. Something light. He needs to keep his energy up." Emma nods. She moves with quiet steps. Her slippers whisper against the tile. Michael watches her disappear into the kitchen like a small bird vanishing into a tree. Later, when the house breathes softly, Emma returns. She sets the tray on his lap. The tea steams. Cinnamon and chamomile curl into the air. She keeps her voice low. "If you need help, ring the bell on your armrest. I'll hear it." "Thank you," he says. Her eyes land on his hands. They are clenched. She doesn't comment. She places a folded napkin by his wrist. "Sometimes," she says, almost to herself, "it helps to hold something warm." He lifts the cup. His fingers tap against the porcelain. The warmth steadies him. He looks up. She's already stepping back into the soft dark of the hall. That night he lies awake. He hears the ocean through the open window. Waves drag and sigh. Wind threads the curtains. The house ticks and settles. Somewhere, a clock chimes 11, then 12. His chest tightens. What if this test breaks something that can't be fixed? What if it reveals exactly what he fears? He closes his eyes. He sees the crash again. He sees Sophia's small pause. He hears Emma's whisper, "If you need help, I'll hear it." He falls asleep with the taste of chamomile and a question that will not sit still. What happens when a lie meant to protect your heart starts pulling it in a direction you never planned? Toward someone you barely know. Morning arrives like a soft apology. Pale light spreads across the floor. Michael wakes with a stiff ache. Not from injury. From pretending. Sophia sweeps in at 9. She's dazzling in an ivory blazer, gold hoops catching the sun. I can stay for an hour, she says, kissing the air near his cheek. Then the charity brunch. You know how it is. He nods. Of course. She flips through a glossy magazine. I asked Robert to move a TV to your room. You can watch those shows you like. You love that, right? Her tone is light. She doesn't look up. Sure, he says. A silent moment stretches. The kind that makes the air feel heavy. He wants her to ask how he slept. He wants her to touch his hand, even if it's just a show. Does he want a show, though? Or something real? Emma appears with breakfast. Oatmeal with sliced bananas. Toast. A small dish of strawberry jam. She sets it down, then hesitates. If you want, she says, I can stay while you eat. Just to make sure the tray doesn't slip. Sophia smiles politely. I've got it, thanks. Emma fades to the doorway. Michael notices how she lingers one heartbeat longer, watching to make sure the tray locks. Then she vanishes. Sophia talks about sponsors. About a new gallery opening. About a watch brand that wants her in a campaign. They love our story, she says. Power couple. Overcoming challenges. It's inspiring. Our story. The words twist. He swallows the oatmeal. It turns to glue. When she leaves, her perfume hangs in the room. Sweet. Expensive. It fills the space where words should be. By noon, the house quiets. Michael wheels to the terrace. Wind arrives in soft fists. It lifts the white curtains, plays with the leaves. He watches the garden. He hears two voices. Emma and John. John is older. Kind eyes. You can take your break, he tells her. You've been at it since 7. Emma shakes her head. Mr. Hale might need help. Michael clears his throat. I'm right here. She steps forward, slightly embarrassed. Sorry, sir. Michael, he says. Please. Just Michael. John smiles and moves on, his steps steady and slow. Emma stands under the awning. A breeze pushes a tendril of hair across her cheek. She tucks it behind her ear. Do you want music? She asks. Sometimes the sound makes the day lighter. What do you listen to? He asks. She thinks. Piano. When the notes are soft. Like rain that doesn't want to disturb anyone. He nods. She brings a small speaker. Notes float into the air. They land like feathers. He closes his eyes. His breathing evens. The lie gets heavier, yet somehow easier to carry with the piano holding one edge. Emma, he says after a while. Why do you work here? She laughs softly. Rent. My mom. And because this house needs someone who wipes the corners no one sees. Do you ever feel invisible? Her eyes lift to his. Invisible can be powerful. You see everything when people forget you're there. He studies her face. Calm. Honest. No performance. No camera. Just a person. Later, the physiotherapist arrives. Evelyn sent him. His name is Robert. Not the butler, another Robert. Broad shoulders. Gentle hands. We'll start with stretches, he says. Breath leads, body follows. Michael nods. He fakes the stiffness. He pretends the signals don't reach his legs. He hates himself a little for it. But he holds the mask. In the doorway, Emma watches. A towel over her arm. Ready. When he winces, she steps forward with water. She doesn't speak. She doesn't fuss. She just is there. Evening comes. Sophia texts a photo from the gala. Champagne glasses. Diamonds. Her caption, thinking of you 2 hearts. No call. On his nightstand, Emma has left a folded note. The handwriting is small and neat. If the night feels too long, ring once. If it feels impossible, ring twice. I'll come. His throat tightens. He looks at the bell on his armrest. He doesn't ring. But he sleeps with the note under his palm like a small anchor. What will Michael do when kindness begins to feel more real than the love he thought he had? The next week is a careful dance. Sophia visits in bursts. She brings gifts he didn't ask for. A smartwatch that tracks heart rate. A cashmere blanket. A book she hasn't read. She talks about him in her stories. She calls him my brave man. Her followers flood the comments with hearts. He tries to be grateful. He tries to ignore the way she checks her reflection in every window. Emma moves in the quiet. She learns his rhythms. She knows when to open the curtains, when to dim the lights, when to let the wind in and when to shut it out. Her kindness is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It's a hand hovering near his cup before it spills. It's soup warmed exactly to the point where it comforts the throat. It's a small smile that says, I see you. One afternoon, rain taps the glass. The house seems to breathe slower. Sophia is late. Robert the butler tells Michael, Miss Sophia called. She's running behind. That's all right, Michael says, watching the raindrops race down the pane. Emma steps into the room, holding a stack of folded towels. A drop of rain clings to her sleeve. Storm came fast, she says. He nods. Sit for a minute. Tell me something true. She blinks. True. Anything. She sits on the edge of the armchair, careful, as if she might damage the fabric with too much weight. When I was 12, she says, my father left. I thought the house would fall apart. It didn't. It stayed right where it was. Sometimes I think houses are braver than people. Rain thickens. The scent of wet earth pushes through the window gap. What made it bearable? He asks. My mom's way of making tea, she says. She'd pour from high so the air got in. Then the tea would taste like it had learned how to breathe. They both smile. The moment sits between them. Warm, quiet, dangerous. Footsteps, heels, perfume. Sophia. She stops in the doorway. She sees Emma sitting. Her eyes flick to the towels. To Michael. To the window. Cozy, she says. A small edge hides under the word. Emma stands fast. I was. It's fine, Sophia says, voice sweet with ice. Emma, could you bring me sparkling water with lemon? And maybe, give us a minute. Emma slips out. Michael hears her steps fade down the hall. Sophia perches on the arm of his chair. You look better, she says, smoothing his hair. That's good. I've been thinking. When you're stronger, we should do a shoot. Resilience at home. People need hope. He stares at her. Rain drums hard now. Thunder rolls, a low growl across the sky. Sophia, he says, if I never walked again, would you still want to marry me? She laughs without mirth. What a question. You will walk. We need to think positive. And anyway, we have a brand to protect. A brand. Something hard shifts inside him. Emma returns with the water. She sets it down, hands steady. Sophia's phone rings. She steps into the hall to answer. Her voice floats back, bright and a little too loud. Yes, tell them I'll be on the panel. Send the car. No, he's okay. He has staff. Staff. The word stands up like a wall. Michael's fingers tighten on the armrest. The lie feels like a stone in his mouth. He turns to Emma. If someone you care about is pretending, he says quietly, do you owe them the truth? Her eyes search his. The rain hushes as if listening. Truth is a kind of mercy, she says. But mercy can cut, too. Sophia re-enters, lips glossed. I have to run, she sings. Call me if you need anything. All right? He watches her leave. The front door opens. Wind sweeps through the corridor. Then the silence after a storm. Emma, he says, voice low. Stay a minute. She does. She sits again, the safe distance kept. He feels the urge to say everything, to rip the lie open and show her the messy inside. Instead, he asks, almost boyish, will you read to me? He gestures to the book on the table. She opens it. Her voice is soft rain. The words fill the room and close the spaces his doubts keep opening. But a new crack runs across the glass of his life. He can hear it spreading. When the truth knocks, can Michael keep pretending? Or is someone else about to open the door first? A week later, Sophia throws a small party. Only close friends, she promises. We'll bring the world to you. Lights glow like stars in the high ceilings. Laughter rises and falls. Music thumps under the marble like a slow heartbeat. Michael sits near the fireplace. His chair is polished until it gleams. He wears a crisp navy shirt. His hands rest in his lap. Still, he feels like an exhibit. Guests arrive in waves. Michael recognizes faces from magazines. Evelyn comes too, at his request. She moves like calm water, all competence and quiet eyes. John manages the cars. Robert the butler flows through with trays of olives and sparkling drinks. Emma drifts at the edges, refilling glasses, catching spills before they happen. She is a small lighthouse in a noisy sea. Sophia works the room. He's so brave, she tells a model. We're stronger than ever, she tells a journalist. Cameras flash. The night smells like citrus and money. A man named Daniel, an investor, leans down to Michael. Tough break, he says, eyes pitying, mouth amused. But hey, it happens. At least you've got support. He tilts his chin toward Sophia's silhouette across the room. Support, Michael repeats, the word turning to dust on his tongue. Emma appears at his elbow as if summoned by a storm that only she can sense. She quietly replaces his empty glass of water. Her hand brushes his. He feels the heat of her skin. It startles him. Not because it's electric. Because it's human. Later, Sophia clinks a spoon against a glass. The room hushes. Friends, she says, thank you for being here. Michael and I believe in resilience, in choosing joy. Applause. She smiles bigger. And we have news. We're partnering with a brand to launch a campaign that will donate proceeds to spinal injury research. Heads nod. Phones rise. Someone films. Michael's stomach rolls. A lie wrapped inside a good cause is still a lie. He glances toward Evelyn. Her face is unreadable. Then he sees Emma near the kitchen door. She meets his eyes. She looks worried. A guest stumbles, tipsy, near Michael. He accidentally jostles the wheelchair. The front wheel slips toward the rug's edge. The chair tilts. Time slows. The room gasps. Emma moves first. She slides in, anchors the chair with her foot, hands on the handles, steady as a rock. It's okay, she says. Her voice cuts through the noise like a rope in a flood. She kneels. Are you hurt? He's not. He nods, breath shallow. The room returns to its rhythm, embarrassed, eager to forget the near accident. Sophia laughs it off and moves on with her story. Emma rises. Her palms shake. She tucks them into the apron. Ring if you need me, she whispers. He glances at the bell on his armrest. The small silver button he rarely presses. He imagines it ringing like a lighthouse beam in the storm of this room. He doesn't press it. The party thins near midnight. The house exhales. Empty glasses like tiny moons shine on every surface. Sophia kisses his forehead. Quick. I'm staying at the Four Seasons, she says. Early panel tomorrow. They're sending a car at 6. You'll be okay. He stares. Of course. When the door closes, the silence is loud. Michael sits in the half-dark. The fireplace hums. Ember light touches the edges of his doubt. He rolls himself to the window. Outside, the city glows, a web of amber veins. He sees his reflection. A man in a chair. A liar. A frightened boy hiding under a mountain of wealth. His chest aches. The guilt is a heavy coat. He presses the bell. Once. Nothing. The house stays quiet. He presses it again. Twice. Footsteps. Fast. Light. Emma appears, breath a little quick, hair slightly undone from a long night. What do you need? She whispers. He looks into her face. Into the soft courage there. The truth is suddenly too large for the room. He takes a breath that shakes like glass. Emma, he says, I need you to hear something, and I need you to tell me if I'm a terrible person. What happens when he finally speaks the truth? To the one person who has only ever offered him kindness. They sit in the quiet kitchen. Midnight hangs from the ceiling like a dark curtain. The fridge hums. Rain has returned, light and steady, making tiny rivers on the window. Emma slides a mug of warmed milk toward him. Cinnamon dust floats on top like small islands. He tells her everything. The almost accident. The decision to pretend. The doctor's real words. The fear of being loved for his money. The plan to test Sophia. The way the lie grew teeth. The way Emma's kindness has made the lie feel uglier. When he finishes, the room is very still. A long silent moment. The kind that tests whether the floor will hold. Emma studies her hands. She breathes. She doesn't look away. "Thank you for telling me," she says finally. "Are you angry?" he asks. He is ready for anger. He is almost hoping for it. It would be clean. "I'm sad," she says softly. "Because lies make good people smaller. And you are not small." He swallows. "What should I do?" She looks at him. Her eyes are steady. "Tell Sophia. Tell everyone who needs to know. Then figure out if you want to love as a person or perform as a brand." He laughs, but it breaks in the middle. "You make it sound simple." "It's not simple," she says. "It's just right." He nods. A tear escapes. He lets it. He is so tired of being strong in the wrong ways. Morning comes with a clear sky, as if the house has been washed. He texts Sophia. "Come home. Urgent." She arrives late afternoon. Sunglasses. Perfect ponytail. Irritation barely hidden. "This better be important," she says, dropping her bag on the console table. It is. He sits straight. His hands are calm now. "I can walk." Silence. Then a sharp laugh. "Very funny." He stands. The sound of the chair shifting is loud in the foyer. He takes a slow step. Another. His legs work as they always did. He stops a few feet away from her, breathing hard for reasons that have nothing to do with muscles. Sophia's mouth opens and closes. Her eyes narrow. "You lied to me." "Yes." He doesn't flinch. "I wanted to know if you loved me when I couldn't, when I looked powerless." She stares. Hurt flashes across her face, then anger, then calculation. "Do you know what you've done to our image?" she says. "The sympathy. The brand deals. Our image," he repeats, quiet. She hears herself. She softens too late. "I cared for you," she says. "I came, didn't I?" He thinks of the perfume and the cameras and the careful kisses that never smudged. He thinks of Emma's note, folded small enough to fit under a frightened palm. "I'm sorry," he says. "For the lie. For everything. But I can't be this with you." Sophia scoffs. "You'll regret this." She turns, grabs her bag, and leaves. The door shuts like a final period. The echoes fade. Michael stands alone in the big foyer. The house is quiet again. He feels lighter and raw. He sinks into the chair because his knees are shaking now for real. Footsteps approach. "Emma." She stops at a respectful distance. "Do you need anything?" He looks up. "I needed to be brave," he says. "Thank you for pushing me there." She shakes her head. "I didn't push you. I just held the light." He smiles. It feels honest. New. "Emma," he says, voice careful. "I don't want to use you as a bandage for a wound I made. I need time to be better. But, would you take a walk with me? No performances. No lies. Just air." She hesitates. Not because she is unsure about him. Because she is sure of herself. "I'll walk," she says, "as your friend." They step outside. The sky is a shy blue. The garden smells like wet leaves and fresh earth. Wind plays with the edges of the world. John tips his cap from the driveway. Evelyn, leaving after a house call, lifts a hand with a small, secret smile. Robert the butler pretends not to watch from the hall mirror, but his eyes soften. They walk slowly, side by side. A bee worries a lavender spike. Somewhere, a dog barks twice, then stops. Michael feels the ground. The truth. The risk. He feels the space where money can't protect you and kindness can. I used to think love meant being chosen in a crowd, he says, voice low. Now I think it's one person noticing when your hands are shaking. Emma glances at his hands. They are steady. Maybe it's also choosing back, she says. They reach the end of the path. He looks at her. The afternoon light catches in her hair. He speaks without a plan. When I lied, you told me mercy can cut. Thank you for cutting me free. She laughs, surprised. Then clears her throat. Okay. He takes a breath. Dinner tonight? In the kitchen. 2 plates. No candles. Just normal. She nods. Normal is underrated. The kitchen is bright at sunset. He cooks badly. She laughs softly. He burns the onions. She opens a window. Wind whispers. The house smells like real food and real people. He tells her about the boy he was. She tells him about the woman she's becoming. The distance closes without either of them forcing it. When the first star climbs the sky, he looks at her and knows. Not everything is fixed. Apologies are still owed. But something honest has started. He reaches into his pocket. Pulls out the bell. The gleaming silver button. He sets it on the counter between them. I don't want to ask for you with this anymore, he says. I'd rather call your name. Then do, she says. He does. Emma. She answers. Michael. Outside, the city pulses. Inside, 2 people choose to speak softly and listen hard. Love begins not with a brand deal or a perfect post, but with a walk, a burnt onion, a bell set aside, and a promise to tell the truth. If you were in Emma's place, would you forgive the lie, and would you trust love that began in the shadow of a test?